Hello, this is Shark once again. අපි John Keel's holding chart එක අද පරීක්ෂා කරමු. We're checking the JKH. ඔයාලට පේනවා මෙතන grey line එකකුත් තියෙනවා මෙතන. This is ASI. Okay, so what I'm comparing is the performance of JKH in terms of the all share price index. All share price index එකට සාපේක්ෂව අපි බලන්නේ JKH count එක perform කරලා තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක. මේ orange line එකකින් පෙන්වුම් කරන්නේ moving average එක. ඒ වගේම මෙතන RSI indicator එක all standard settings කිසිම වෙනසක් කරලා නැහැ, same settings I have embedded there for the chart. This is just to see where the RSI stands at. Now if you see it's around 15, it's on a very weaker point. Okay, so it's going on a selling spree. As you see these reddish candles, daily candles, it's what it's indicating here. Okay, so let me remove this one. Now it will look much easy for us to have a look at it. Anek eka chart is 3 year. It's on a daily closing. අපි මේ බලන chart එක අවුරුදු 3 chart එක. So මේ සාපේක්ෂතාවය එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ comparison එක for the all share price index එකට ඇවිත් අවුරුදු 3 comparison එක පෙන්වුම් කරන්නේ. Now if I change this one to let's say 5 years, have a look at it. So over 5 years JKH has performed, not been able to outperform the index. Okay, so this is a comparison what we are doing over 5 years. So when you look at over 5 years, JK is one could come to some conclusion that it has not performed well. So for me, I think a 5 year would be too much in terms of doing a comparison. So let's look at 2 years. Okay, now if you look at the 2 years as well, we are seeing here, this is where the ASI should stand, and this is where the the JKH stand, and this is where the ASI stands. Okay, so if what I'm trying to tell you, මෙතන පැහැදිලි කරන point එක නම් if you were holding JKH, it wouldn't have been that profitable if you had invested the same amount of money in an index fund. So unfortunately in Sri Lanka we don't have this. So but for comparison purposes, if we are doing it, so if anyone was holding JKH, assuming that ASI or JKH would perform well over the all share price index, or JKH is the main striving force, then I think it has not materialized. So this is what I'm trying to tell. Sorry. So we are looking basically, but maybe perhaps sometimes if you were able to do a trading on JKH rather than holding JKH as a long term, I think things would have been different in terms of gaining, because when you do trading but that is to, it's a risk if it was in the last few years, because we were seeing huge huge volatility. If you had entered at the right price, it would have been well above the ASI gains. So if you're looking, basically have a look at this. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Now this is the beginning. Okay, this is, we are talking about 1 year here. So we were here 224. Okay, look at this. If now both were holding here at the same level, correct? So what would have happened if you had held JKH? Now when the index was falling or dropping, okay, JKH was outpacing the ASI index by huge gap, okay, and then gradually the gap got narrower and even it went below the ASI. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. So if one had held JKH for trading purposes, I think he would have got more returns than the ASI. Then api out in the current situation. So I'm looking at the 2 year history. So I would try to go for the 18 18 months comparison here. Now what we are seeing here is that there is a big gap between this ASI and the share price. So technically we should not be investing on JKH. Why? Because it will, of course we can expect this gap to get narrower, but technically this would be only what do you say, an expectation, merely an expectation. Okay, so not necessarily that in the past it had narrowed and then it has now the gap has got wider. Okay, so my point here would be, if you are going to think that JKH will catch up, then it's an expectation alone. Okay, so it's an assumption that we will be making on. So let me go back again to for this. Now I'm looking at the 3 years. Okay, things have changed. If you look at it, JKH performed very well if you compare the last 3 year window. Okay, so the gap is getting narrower. Hopefully this will hold around 88.6 and they will start moving up. Okay, this is the breakout we expected around. Okay, so there was no movement up, so the breakout got confirmed. Usually what happens, like here, after the breakout, the initial retesting towards the breakout level you are seeing here, and then started the fallout, and now we stand around 223. Now we could see, now it's already penetrated the 61.8. okay, so that means it's on a bearish mode, and what we are seeing are the next two levels as the next supports for the probable reversal zones, or PRZ, okay, which is the potential reversal zone, in other words. Okay, so should this come here, that will start matching with the ASI index over the 3 year gap. Okay, so I'm expecting for a 210 touch here. So if we come back again, we can buy say 500, and we could buy another 500 here. All depends, and we have a support around 205. Okay, so or we can say 204 in that region. So is it worth to hold JKH on a long-term basis, or is it worth to do a trading? For me, looking at the 3-year horizon here, it has performed well. One of the favorite blue chip companies for the foreigners. What happens is when ASI gradually moves up, the individual shares tend to become very expensive. If you look at other shares like Hema's holdings, from where it was and where it is now, PLC, Janashakti Insurance, the shares becoming expensive day by day. So there'll be a scarcity of good companies coming at a discount price. So that's why we need to load in at the right pullback levels, so that that we are ready for the next phase of the bull run. Okay, now I will come up with another video on the all share price index. We should be able to see we should be able to map out the next phase, so that we all could be comfortable with the next phase. And that would hint us which shares to start collecting. Okay, so my hunch or my feeling or gut feeling is that we should start collecting good stocks, fundamentally strong shares. Think of the dividend yield, and of course the liquidity. Okay, so it's very important, and also sectors that can perform well in the future. Some sectors that come into my mind right now would be the manufacturing, construction, power, because we will need lots of power consumption as we develop, as we move forward. FMCG, okay, that is fast moving consumer goods. Why? Once we have the what is known as the excess disposal income. Okay, when you have an excess there will be a demand created to go into better lifestyle. Okay, so this is where things will be favorable for such companies. Okay, pharmaceuticals, hospitals, or the health sector also will do very well. So if you break down the sectors into individual shares, so we are looking at Dialog, Sri Lanka Telecom, hospitals. Most of the hospitals look into it in terms of dividend yields. So you have Asiri, you have Lanka Hospitals, Cargill's, Hema, Skills Foods, are some shares. Of course, in the manufacturing we have Walkers, Kapi, AEL or Access Engineering. I think I mentioned Tokyo as well. So these are some shares that you should start looking at. Of course, we should go for the manufacturing and of course textured jersey, Haley's management knitting, I guess, Mills, OC's realty, as the real estate sectors. These are some of the sectors we should look in the next phase. Okay, with lower interest rates, of course, some say that there will be a risk or a pressure for the interest rates to be up. So these factors also should come into the equation when we are taking into account the next where we should start putting our money. So my choice here with JKH is to look a short-term window to mid-term window. Okay, I think it's much attractive right now than holding around 260, because 260 was the peak in the previous run, and now we are getting it at around 223. So it would be much attractive if it was like between if we can get in around 210. So as you would have noticed, my range was 225 to 210 this time around. So let's look at next week how things will move forward. Of course, we have various snags for the JKH strategic plans that they have had. So there are some snags. I think they can sort it out in coming months, or probably ahead. So that should give us clear choice as to what we should be doing. For me and for the foreigners, I think JKH is one of their favorites. So there will be gradual demand to hold this one, and we need to look at it. Why the selling taking place? Is anyone exiting? Probably there is some funds may try to exit with the bearish view on its project. So this could be the selling which is taking place. Things will come to light very soon. So as we speak now, we have two targets up Q Vidyata, 78.6, 88.6. These are the two levels we could think of. 61.8 did not hold well. If you see, the pressure was too much, and the next levels we have is around 217 and 211. So always try to spread your risk. Don't try to invest the whole amount on a reversal. So this way you will spread your risk, as well as the chances of being wrong will be evenly divided, so that the risk, the holding cost, can be gradually brought down. Okay, so for me, I'm looking at these two levels, 217, 210 as my next reversal. So let's wait and see how this pan out for us. This is Shark. So have a great weekend until we see you next Monday on our first trading day in the last week of the first month in the year 2015. Hopefully the index will close green. This is my wish and my hope. and that we'll be able to make more money in the months ahead.